बेटा ट्रांसपोर्ट इन प्लांट वाला चैप्टर है that we are going to start right now. First of all, we'll see what is the requirement and what is the need of this transport in plant body. तो सबसे पहली जो बात जो हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, you can see here, they are showing you the transport need of plant body. ठीक है ना? अब वो कह रहे हैं मेन फोटोसिंथेटिक ऑर्गन प्लांट बॉडी क्या है, एनिमल अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफिल कर लेते हैं बिकॉज दे आर हेटरोट्रॉफ. दे कैन इजीली फुलफिल देयर रिक्वायरमेंट बाय ईटिंग द prepared food, organic molecules which are produced by the producers of plants. But plants are autotroph. उन्होंने सोलर एनर्जी को कैप्चर करके ट्रैप करके in the presence of the chlorophyll and solar energy sunlight they have to prepare their food. और वो फूड प्रिपेयर करने के लिए दे रिक्वायर टू इनऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स. और वो दो इनऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल कौन से होते हैं बेटा? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्लस वाटर. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर दोनों को मिलाने के लिए उनके पास दो चीजों की प्रेजेंस लाजमी है. एंड व्हाट शुड बी प्रेजेंट? chlorophyll plus sunlight. So in the presence of these two things they are going to produce glucose plus oxygen, right? So glucose is the molecule which is the food of the plant after the process of photosynthesis produced by the plant body. Here they are talking about the transport needs, that in order to obtain minerals and water from the soil, plants have extensive system of roots like this. And roots not only help to absorb water and minerals from the soil, because this is the function of only root hair cell which can absorb water and minerals, but they also help to anchor the plant into the soil, and they keep a balance in between the upper part of the plant body which is above the soil, like aerial part, and the underground part. So you can also see the lower part is highly branched, like roots are highly branched structures, and these roots they increase the surface area because for the absorption of water and minerals. In the same way, the upper part of the plant body which is above the soil is also having the leaves, and these leaves are produced on the extensive system of the branches, so they are also again providing a large surface area. And the next factor which also adds or helps the plant body for the process of photosynthesis is the flat structure of the leaves, expanded and flat structure of leaves, which are going to trap more sunlight. And as they are green in color, this help in the process of photosynthesis, and plant can easily convert solar energy into chemical energy. It means that plants also require energy for their survival, for their growth, right? And they are the life on earth because they are producers. ये प्रोड्यूसर नहीं होंगे तो क्या लाइफ सस्टेन करेगी? नो. अदर लाइफ, because the energy from the producer to the whole food chain is transferred in a linear manner, और ये एनर्जी जो फ्लो है वो स्टॉप हो जाएगा अगर प्लांट अपना फूड नहीं बनाएंगे अर्थ के ऊपर. ठीक है ना? क्योंकि सोलर एनर्जी को डायरेक्टली ऑटोट्रॉफ के अलावा कोई और, फोटो ऑटोट्रॉफ के अलावा कोई और ऑर्गेनिज्म एब्जॉर्ब नहीं कर पाता है. सही है? तो जो फूड मॉलिक्यूल बना रहे हैं वो आगे यूज होते हैं फिर, और उनको यूज करने वाले हेटरोट्रॉफ होते हैं, लाइक ह्यूमन हो सकते हैं, लाइक एनिमल हो सकते हैं, कोई कोई भी चीज हो सकती है जो हर्बीवोर होंगे डायरेक्टली. Since the material made by the plant leaves and the materials absorbed by the roots are needed by all cells of the body, there must be a way of achieving long distance transport. तो उनके लिए वो कह रहे हैं अगर सपोज लीव जो है अपना फूड बना रहे हैं, प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं आफ्टर फोटोसिंथेसिस, और रूट्स ने जो रॉ मटेरियल एब्जॉर्ब किया है वाटर और मिनरल्स की फॉर्म में, या लीव्स ने कोई चीज बनाई है, तो दे नीड टू बी ट्रांसपोर्टेड थ्रू आउट द प्लांट बॉडी. तो प्लांट की बॉडी के अंदर भी एक वस्कुलर सिस्टम होना चाहिए, एक ट्रांसपोर्टिंग सिस्टम होता है उसके अंदर भी, जिसके जरिए ये काम हो सकता है, क्योंकि लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रांसपोर्ट है. और लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रांसपोर्ट के मीनिंग क्या है? एक पार्ट में चीज बन रही है और दूसरी पार्ट तक सप्लाई करनी है, तो दे शुड हैव द पाइपलाइन और सिस्टम ऑफ द पाइपलाइंस इनसाइड द बॉडी. An example of mineral ions absorbed by the root is in the leaves is magnesium. which is needed to make the chlorophyll. In the same way, what is the use of nitrate? Nitrates are going to be used for the making of amino acid. Amino acid, the basic monomer of the polypeptide, and polypeptide will convert into protein. Protein is the molecule of growth. तो यहाँ पे यही वाली बात हो रही है कि एब्जॉर्ब तो करने मिनरल एनी हाउ रूट्स ने, लेकिन वो रूट जो एब्जॉर्ब कर रही है मिनरल्स को, वो मिनरल्स एब्जॉर्ब होने के बाद डिफरेंट जगहों पे प्लांट बॉडी ने यूज भी करने हैं, so they need to be transported throughout the plant body. Now we come towards the next one. They are talking about the vascular system. Vascular system mein, when we talk about the vascular system, first substances have to be moved around the plant body. That is why special long distance transport system has been evolved, and substances are transported. Mineral ions. Now we can see here, when we see the transport system in the plant body, there is a system of the tissues, vascular bundles, tissues like xylem and phloem, complex tissues, which are helping the plant body for the transport of materials like this. Like we can see here, plant body consists of two type of tissues. Plant body consists of two type of tissues. One is meristematic tissue, which has the ability of division, and meristematic tissue are further divided into apical meristem present on the tips or apices, then the lateral meristem which is present into the vascular bundle, and third is the intercalary meristem which is present in between the two nodes or in the place of internode. It is called intercalary meristem. Now we talk about the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue are the tissues which have lost the ability of division. They have got a permanent shape and structure. These tissues are of two types basically. Number one is the simple tissue. Simple tissue first is the parenchyma, also known as food storing tissue. Second is collenchyma, which is a modified type of parenchyma. And it gives flexibility plus strength to the plant body. And third is sclerenchyma. But out of these three, these two remain alive at the after maturity. They remain alive. They remain alive after maturity, but this becomes dead after maturity. As it gains maturity, it becomes dead. So mostly sclerenchyma are present into the seed coat, into the xylem vessels, and all these things. It becomes hard and it gives strength and support and protection. Then we come towards the permanent tissue, second type of permanent tissue, that is known as complex tissue. Complex tissue again further divided into two major categories. One is known as xylem, which is a complex tissue, and it helps into the transport of water and minerals. And other is phloem, which is again a complex type of tissue made up of four components. So here we can see this is the summary of the plant tissues. When we talk about the uh, distribution of vascular bundle and the arrangement of different tissues in the plant body, they are in this way. Now look at this. This is the TS of stem, dicot stem. In the TS of dicot stem, outermost layer of cell, compactly arranged cell, closely packed, is known as epidermis. It is known as epidermis. Epi means upper, derma means skin. This is the uppermost of the outermost skin of the plant body. Below the epidermis, the cells are present, which are the food storing tissues, and they are known as cortex. After cortex, we can see the vascular bundles are arranged in the form of rings, and they have a middle part in between them, which is called pith. This is the part which is pith. It's again the middle part. And from here till here, this area is known as cortex. So below epidermis, there is cortex. After cortex, there is a ring of vascular bundle. In between, the inside, in the center of the vascular bundle, the space is called the pith, which is also playing the role of food storage. So they are also known as ground tissue. When we talk about this vascular bundle are triangular shaped structures like this. The inner side of the vascular bundle, inward, like here, it is the xylem. Outward is the phloem. And in between them here, there is a cambium. Cambium is the ring of meristematic cells which has the ability of division. Now, if the cambium is dividing and making new cells towards this side where phloem is standing, it is called secondary phloem. These are secondary tissues, secondary phloem. And if the growth is taking place on the xylem side, we call it secondary xylem. In this way, this ring is going to expand not only on the side but also outward in this way. And when they grow in this way, we call it lateral meristem, and it helps in the growth of the stem or the plant. The growth of stem is increased by them, and this is lateral meristem. In the other words, we call them vascular cambium as well, and they are meristematic tissues. So they help in the growth of the plant body in those plants which are perennial or they survive for many years, right? So their stem, the growth of stem is continuously increasing in size and their width is increasing year by year because of the activity of cambium. Now we come towards the next one. We'll see the arrangement of vascular bundles like this. Arrangement of vascular bundle in the root. Suppose this is the layer which is called the epidermis. It has certain modified cells in it. These modified cells are called root hair cells. They are known as root hair cells. Root hair is the only area from where water or minerals are absorbed and it helps in the absorption. Rest of the root is not performing this function. They just anchor the plant into the soil. After the epidermis, epidermal, this is root hair is again epidermal modified cell. It's a modified epidermal cell to increase the surface area to volume ratio. When we talk about the epidermis, below the epidermis there is cortex. This area is the cortex, again food storing tissue. After cortex, we can see here vascular bundle vascular tissues are present. And these vascular tissues, one innermost star-like structure is xylem, and in between the xylem, there is present phloem, like this. So this is the area where the vascular tissues are present in the roots. In roots, if we see them, there is also one more layer of cells which are surrounding them, and they are known as, they are like the epidermis. But as this is internally present, we call it endoderm. Endodermis is having the layer of waxy coating around the cells, which is known as suberin. The strip is known as suberin, Casparian strip, and the layer molecule is known as suberin, which is a waxy coating, and it will not allow water molecule to pass through. So here we can see, next comes the leaves. This is the vascular arrangement of the vascular tissues into the leaves. If we see the leaf is a flattened part of the plant body. In this flattened part of the plant body, there is the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis, because it is a dorsoventral sheet-like flattened structure. So it has a dorsal side and a ventral side. On the ventral side, the epidermal cells may be modified to make guard cells. In between the guard cells, the area in between the guard cell is known as the stomata. This area is an open pore which is known as stomata in the plural and stoma in the singular. It helps in the movement of gases inward or outward, and it can also help in the removal of water vapor. This process is called transpiration. Coming back to the arrangement of vascular bundle, here we can see the different tissues are arranged in this way that the upper side of the leaf is having compactly arranged, tightly packed, long cells, cylinder-like cells. Cylinder means palisade. So we call them palisade cell or palisade tissue. These are the cells which are long column-like cells, column-like, cylinder-like cells. We call them palisade mesophyll. Palisade mesophyll. And in between the leaf, in the center of the leaf, mostly we can find a ring-like structure made up of xylem and phloem. After this, we can see the lower side of this leaf is filled with another type of mesophyll. This is palisade mesophyll. Meso means middle, and phyll means leaf. It is the middle part of the leaf which has this type of tissues. So upper side or the dorsal side is having the compactly arranged cells which are making the palisade mesophyll, and the lower side of the cells in this leaf, the lower side is having the loosely arranged cells which make the spongy mesophyll, like this. Spongy mesophyll is having the intercellular spaces in between the cells which help in the exchange of gases. Now, if we talk about the location, it is exactly in the center here, as I have already mentioned. But in certain leaves, some of the parallel venation is there, like in the dicot leaf. This is the TS of dicot leaf. This is dicot leaf. But in dicot leaf, we can see there is a midrib, and on the side there is a network of the veins which is called reticulate venation. So generally this midrib, only this midrib is mentioned here in the form of this ring. You can see here. This is the ring where the xylem and phloem are located. But in the monocot leaves, the venation is parallel like this. The veins are running parallel. In that type of leaf, if we observe the TS, I am not making the all the cells. In this type of cell, we can see many ring-like structures which are mentioning the vascular bundle and the arrangement of these veins.